Hi, I'm Cayleigh from createwithcayleigh.com. I'm super excited for today's tutorial as it's the first in my series of making a mini album. So you might have seen the video yesterday where I walked you through the mini album and I showed you the different pages and layouts. And this is possibly going to be my longest tutorial to date, so I've decided to split it up into a week-long series so that I can really show you how to do each step. So on one side we have a waterfall album, on the other side we have some pockets which are perfect for some pictures or memorabilia or things you want to keep. And it is completely made out of cards and pattern paper, but it is quite, well, it's easy to do, but there are a lot of steps, so I'm going to split it up. Today we are going to do the cutting for all of the base work for this album. So I am primarily using all of the Cake Soiree sets in the Stampin Up Spring Summer Catalogue 2018. I'm going to use most of what we see here simply because it coordinates, it goes really well together, and it just made my designing job a whole lot easier. So we are going to start off with making our base. So we are going to need to take 2 pieces of A4 card. I have decided to use Berry Burst again because I just love the colourway I did last time. I'm going to keep it simple. The only difference is I think I'm not going to use pictures for this album. I'm going to keep it, I'm going to replace the pictures with blank card so I can give it as a gift and someone can add their own photos. So what we need to do is start off with, we're going to keep the A4 width the same, but we're going to trim it down to 9 inches and we're going to do this twice. Yep. Let's get it lined up. I need to have 2 of these. And then we're going to score them at 4 inches and 5. Now don't worry about measurements, I will put them on the blog as always, so you can catch them there. And again 4 inches and 5 inches. Now the reason we're doing 2 of the back of the base is simply so that we have a really nice sturdy piece of card. I quite often use chipboard for my mini albums, but I wanted to see how it worked by just using card because that's what we all tend to have at home. So what I'm going to do is take some Tombow glue and run it all along the edge, and I'm going to lay these 2 pieces on top of each other to create a really thick base. Now Tombow glue has about 10 seconds of wiggle room and then it's stuck. But what I would advise with this is, because we're sticking 2 pieces of card together, is to leave it for about an hour before you try and bend it. If you watch my tutorials, you see that I'm a big believer in not using an awful lot of glue, and I've shoved it on today. That's simply because I want this to be quite sturdy, and also the glue in itself, when it dries, will act as to help thicken the whole project. So I'm just going to make sure that I am lined up everywhere and that my score lines are lined up, which they should be because I scored them the same. And then I'm just going to put quite a lot of pressure all over the card just to make sure that that's really stuck. Now what you could do is put this underneath something heavy if you wanted. I'm just going to leave it to the side. It doesn't really need something heavy on it, but it does need about an hour's worth of drying at least. If you can leave it overnight, that would be great. Just make sure it's really dry. So now we're going to do the cutting. So let me show you first of all. So that is the base done. Now we're going to start with the waterfall here. Now it's a fair bit of cutting, but it is definitely worth it. I think it's 2 pieces of A4 card that we're going to need. And I am going to go just the same as I did last time with 2 pieces of the blue. It's completely, Marina Mist is the colour of this, completely left my head then. So what we need to do is cut to 4 inches, so 3.5, sorry, all the way down, and then we're going to cut to 4 inches, and I mean I could have done that either way, I don't really know why I've changed it, just mixing things up. So the one that's 4 inches we're going to cut to 3.5. I made this a little bit more complicated. Follow the measurements on the blog because I keep that one simple by doing them all at 4 inches. But basically what we're going to need is 8 4 inches by 3.5 pieces of card. So I've got 3, and now I need, this is going to give me another 2. If I'd have done them all 4 inches first, I would have got more of my cardstock. So let's cut this down. So I think I've got, let's lay them out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then I'm going to have one that's 3.5 by 3.5. And I also need to cut a longer piece of cardstock. That is going to be, I think it is just under, I'm just going to just quickly measure it because I've forgotten. So 7 3/4 is going to be our final piece, and this is the back piece of the waterfall. So this is 7 3/4 by 3.5. So what we need to do with all of our pieces that are 4 inches by 3.5 is we need to score them on the 4-inch line at 4-inch side at 1/2. And this is going to be our tab for all of our cards. And then we have the 3.5 by 3.5 square. To make sure these are all scored. It's easier to do this whole album in the stages that I'm laying out. So start with the cutting and then move on to decorating and finally adhering all together and completing. I think it can be quite a mammoth task, so it's better to spread it out a little bit and do it in stages. Definitely more manageable. So I've now got all of my scored pieces for my waterfall, and I'm going to pop those to the side for now, and we will assemble those tomorrow. I'm going to cut the pieces for my pocket, and this is Old Olive, and I think I just need 1 piece for this, but I'm going to grab 2 out because I can't remember. And I'm going to cut at 4.5. You put 4.5 this way, I think. 4.5 by 4. And we're going to score at 3 sides on this one at 1/2 inch. And it is 3 sides, let me just check. It is 3 sides, so the 2 short sides and 1 long side. Sometimes when I'm just making these I just doubt my memory. And then we're going to take we're going to do a back pocket for this as well. That's going to be 3.5 by 3.5. And that is our front pocket. I'm going to do the back pocket, which is 4.5, which we've cut, by 6. And again, we're going to score on 3 sides at 1/2 inch. 1 short side, 2 long sides. And we're going to create a back for this. That is going to be 3.5 by 5.5. So it's cut 5.5. Yep, I didn't cut all the way through, so just grab my scissors. Sometimes it's easier if you don't finish a cut to just pull it out and use your scissors rather than trying to put it back through. So that is the back pocket, front pocket, the waterfall and the cover. Those are the 3 main elements of the project. So So I'm going to quickly use a bone folder and burnish all the score lines, and then I will be back tomorrow to show you how to assemble all of this. Now, it is easier to assemble it, to assemble halfway, then decorate. But we're going to start with we're going to continue tomorrow with assembling and then decorating the day after. So thanks so much for watching. If you are participating and you're making along with me, please share your progress on createwithcayleigh.com. If you are watching and this series is completed, I'd still love to see your progress. It not only inspires me, but inspires everyone else on the page, and it's great to see when people are jumping on board of a tutorial. And if you like the idea of this series, let me know. Maybe I'll do it again with some of the other mini albums I've got. If you did want to purchase any of the supplies used today, please get in touch if you're in the UK. I'd love to earn your custom. The links to everything is in the comment section and on the blog, as are the measurements. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you back tomorrow.